Energy emerging, healing modality, cellular level. This is by far my most exciting part that we do and we work with, and where we work and how we help people move forward. When you get me going on cellular level, we could be here for hours and days and really working from that space, because that's where everything hinges from, because that's what we're made up of. We're made up of the cell. We're made up of the energy and how it all comes together and how it all works. So the thing I get excited about, I'm so passionate about this modality and about understanding energy and understanding who we are, what makes us work, and how it all comes together is one of the most exciting things for me, and one of the reasons why this modality is such a passion and is something I love with every ounce of my being. Cellular level is the blueprint of our life of the soul. Let me say that again. The cellular level is the blueprint of life, or of the life of the soul. So in other words, the cellular level, you're holding everything that has ever happened since the existence of the beginning of your beginning. Wherever you came in, however you came in, and old soul, new soul, young soul, all of that, no matter when the creation and the essence of your being began, everything is held within that cellular level, in that blueprint. It also has a perfect memory. It remembers what happened the day your soul was created. It remembers the essence, the minute, a breath of life. Doesn't matter what type of lifetime you had. It remembers that, and it remembers what happens. It remembers how you handled it. It remembers your actions, your reactions, actions and reactions of other people. And it's in that space. A lot of people will kind of call this like karma. I'm not a big proponent of karma, and that's a whole nother topic. But what happens is it has the perfect memory, but what happens then is we start exaggerating it. Rather than looking at it and saying, oh, I was in an accident with my motorcycle, and I was going down the road at 30 miles an hour, and my coat got caught in the spokes, and then all of a sudden they're talking to another friend. Oh, I was going down the road, and my coat got caught in the spokes, and my back wheel spun out around me. Then they're talking to another friend. I was going 100 miles an hour down the road. We begin to exaggerate. We begin to build it and make it more than it really is. And that's when the cellular memory starts going like, what's going on? What's going on? And it tries to keep up with what's happening. It tries to keep up with what's going on. And so it's really important that we understand that the cellular memory holds that as a perfect memory. It's how we exaggerate it with our minds. Remember, we talked back a while ago that we have to control the mind, not the mind control us. This is a classic example of it. And that little motorcycle thing was a story that actually happened back when my kids were real little, and a gentleman was going down the highway in front of our house, and that exact same thing happened to him. I watched him go from, I was going 30 and I skidded, to, you would have thought he flipped, rolled, and that his bike flew 500 feet in the air. It's just how we exaggerate it. It's how we build it up and make that memory seem worse. It's also where it holds on to things. It's where we remember things. It's where we reminds us. For example, if I came up to you and I pinched you, and then I walk away and you're like, ow, that really hurt me. If I come toward you again making that pinching motion, yes, your mind remembers that I pinched you, but your cellular memory reminds that, oh, that really hurts. So you begin to react. You begin to have some type of reaction to that action. And that's how cellular memory works. That's how the cellular level works. It holds things from past lives, like I said, from the beginning of the essence of time for our soul, our past lives, the past, between lifetimes, and our current. So a lot of times we might have something going on in this current lifetime that actually happened like 5 or 6 lifetimes ago, that all of a sudden we've got triggers bringing it up, and we're like, why is that happening? Why is that? Why do I have this repeated thing going on? Why is this going over and over and over and over in my life? We go in there and look, and we find it, and there we go. There's what happened. And we shift it, and we change it, and we take it for the highest good and say, okay, it's not healthy to hold on to these other aspects of it, but let's get from it what we need, get strengthened, heal, and then we don't have to deal with it anymore. We can be done with it. We can make that slate clean. We can give ourselves a healthy balance. What can you expect to find in the cellular memory? Traumas, hurts, abuse, loss, grief, all of those things that weigh our soul down. For some reason, we are a people, a race, whatever you want to call us, that loves to be the victim. And we play off that. Whether we do it consciously or we do it subconsciously, it's where we go from and come from. So when you go in and you start feeling and you're working in different areas and you pick up a grief or you pick up a hurt or you pick up like a tree limb that got cut off or broke off, that tree will actually try to heal itself and try to let go of the memory of that trauma that happened to it. So what happens with all this and what happens within our practice is that we know that there's hope. We actually shift the ownership of this cellular memory, of this trauma, of this, as we were saying over here, of all these hurts and abuse and loss. When we shift the ownership of that and realize and say, hey, wait a minute, that happened back when I lived in the 1600s. Why in the heck am I even having to deal with it today? Why is it even leaving an imprint on me in my today current life? We shift that. We let it go. Just because the soul experienced it in one lifetime, we don't have to keep recurring it over and over and over again. We can move past it. We can heal it. Yeah, we'll remember it, but it takes the ownership and that emotional attachment that we wrap around our soul, and it says, that can be healed. It's like wearing a cast forever on a bone that's been mended and healed, but we're too afraid to take it off because we might break the bone again. So what we do with the cellular memory is we go in there, we shift the ownership of it, we let it heal, we give you the release and allow you to move forward with it. And as we get into the practice more, you're going to find how this happens. You're going to start seeing how just talking about it, just looking at it, blessing it, moving it forward, giving it to the hands of the angels, to your guides, to the masters, and working in that space can give us all hope.